broke up my marriage. You're an awful person.
You're 24 years old. Why would I listen to you? Why would you be giving therapy and advice to people who clearly need it? It doesn't make any sense, Ari. This is a horrible idea.
You're listening to unlicensed therapy with Ari Mannis.
I don't have that.
Okay, good.
I have diarrhea things.
As you may know,
Okay.
How the headphones sound? Good?
I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, that sounds
Hello,
pretty
my
good.
baby.
So as you may or may not know,
That smells like a Taco Bell situation.
there is a chicken sandwich craze going on in the United States
Okay.
with fast food. Did you know that?
No.
Oh
What do you
my
mean
gosh.
a chicken sandwich
There's a chicken
craze?
sandwich craze. So
Burger King's upsetting
so
me
the
in
old
general.
school one is
They're not your sponsor.
Chick-fil-A, of course.
Okay.
But there's been a Nashville hot chicken craze. Dave's Hot Chicken. McDonald's came out with the chicken sandwich. Wendy's has a chicken sandwich. Popeyes has sold out of chicken sandwiches. Are you aware of this?
No. No.
Yeah. How little you know about the world, Beth. You
I'm
know
very
so
sheltered.
little.
I'm very sheltered. I don't know if Burger King's food.
I was going to ask you your thoughts on Burger King.
It's always been the bastard to me.
I agree that Burger King,
Their fries are trash.
at least in the... I disagree with you on the fries, but in general, Burger King is the worst of the major chains. When you
Yes.
compare it to Wendy's, McDonald's, maybe even Jack in the Box, I would say Burger King is the least
worst.
desirable one. I'll still go in a pinch if it's late at night, if they have a good deal going on and I'm on a budget. I'll still eat Burger King here and
Okay.
there. I stay up to date, but not good.
I love the King commercials. They're just creepy
Agreed.
enough.
Those creepy King commercials were good.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do the creepy ones.
And
but
I
those
loved
were
The
good.
Crown, of course, as a kid. That was a huge draw.
That being
I
said,
loved Rax.
I always like a redemption story, and maybe Burger King has gotten better. I don't know.
I'm all about giving second chances,
So
as you know.
I wanted to kick off the podcast by doing a food review
Okay, I love
of
that.
the new chicken sandwich. Do you have a preference between spicy or non-spicy?
There's basically are we talking spicy or grilled or spicy
They're
or
both fried. They're both fried.
And breaded, obviously.
And breaded. One has, I think, a spicy sauce, and
Mm.
one has a more mild sauce.
It's hard for me to say. I want to say spicy.
Okay, I'll give you the spicy one. I got one of each.
Okay, great. Are you sure you want to give me the spicy one?
Yeah.
Like you didn't have your heart set on it?
No, I didn't have my heart set. I want to. Do you mind if I put my finger on it?
Well, I mean, how much of your finger?
Just here, I'll
little
use
bit?
the wrapper.
Yeah,
I just
I feel
want.
like the
I don't know
wrapper's
which
there
one's
for a
which, so I
reason.
want to make sure.
I get that.
Okay, that one's not the spicy one.
So then this one's mine.
This one's yours.
I didn't even have to have you touch it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the bread I
can
gotta
see the
say,
spicy. Why am I stupid? You know what I mean? Like when I was trying to show them, I was like,
oh my god.
when something's getting mirrored, I'm like,
I gotta say the bread
okay.
of the sandwich, the bun, I
Yeah.
should say, looks pretty good to me.
I agree. Couldn't agree more,
For a Burger
really.
King?
Yeah, it does look good. Looks like a classic potato bun that you'd buy at the store.
Yeah.
It's got that sort of yellow tint to it. The meat is looking real. And
Just
it looks like a nice breaded fry.
Yeah, just based on appearances.
I see a pickle, which I'm
If
loving.
no one told me this was Burger King, I'd be like, this looks good.
Wow. I'm actually happy.
I like it.
I do too.
First bite, I'm in.
Now, did you choose mild and I got spicy? Or
Yeah.
you're no sauce at all?
No, this one has a more mild sauce, I believe. I just
is
got one
good.
of each, didn't know what you wanted, and wanted to try both.
Wow. I'm loving it. To use McDonald's quote.
I saw a TikToker of a guy who went in with a guitar and a little amp, and he would play other competitors' theme songs to the employees. Kind of funny.
I think I'm too lazy for TikToks like that. Sometimes I'll think of something and I'm just like,
Oh, to make it?
not going to happen for me.
Agreed. I'm a lazy little piglet.
Same.
I eat fried chicken sandwiches on a
Podcast.
Wednesday afternoon.
Maybe
so.
somebody's enjoying the sounds of eating. Ooh, a little drippy there out the bottom for you.
So you obviously haven't had the other chicken sandwiches to compare it to, but you like it.
I do. I feel surprised.
Me too. It doesn't look or taste like Burger King.
And at this point in our lives in the world, I'm shocked that someone's done better. You know, everything just feels like it's gone to shit. Because I don't eat fast food really, and it's not a rule, by the way. I enjoy In-N-Out a lot. And when the world was open and we were doing shows, I would leave the Improv in the store and I'd go to In-N-Out. But there is a hierarchy. Are you tasting a bit of a garlic in the bun? Tastes good.
Maybe it's the sauce. I don't know.
But in general, I would say, like as a kid, we ate fast food. My single mom, and we'd go to Taco Bell for dinner or Rax for dinner. After like
What's
a little
Rax?
roast beef. Their mascot was like a little gator.
Oh, I never had that. Where are you from?
Ohio.
Oh, wow.
Southwest Ohio. But anyway, it was like, affordable but still food. And I really loved Taco Bell as a kid. And I'm like, did I get older and change? And like maybe, you know how LA gets like this bad rep for being, oh, it's not organic and fresh. And it's like, okay, potentially I am spoiled in that way. Or everything's for sure has gone to shit.
Or both.
Or my taste buds have changed. Like with age,
I think it's both.
okay. Because Taco Bell to me is now actually bad, very bad.
Oh, I still like it, but I know it's bad.
I don't even mean bad for you. It's just
Yeah, you
like,
don't-
is this edible?
It's like very processed.
But it's like hardly food. Sometimes I feel
Yeah.
like I'm eating a piece of.
I think when you're a kid, you don't care.
Cardboard.
When you're a kid, you just close your eyes and you're like, this tastes good. This
But the
tastes like
shells
shit.
used to feel like fresh and like it was actually made from corn. And now it feels like it's made from computer paper. And someone
could be right.
lightly colored it with a yellow pencil.
You could definitely be right. I still like it, to be honest, but I always feel bloated and terrible.
Yeah, but
After.
again, it's more like about taste. Do you like In-N-Out fries?
I eat them, but I would much rather get a McDonald's fries than an
I do like
fries.
McDonald's fries, but In-N-Out fries. I think, speaking a little bit against what I just said, it does feel healthier for some reason.
In-N-Out?
Yeah.
Well, In-N-Out doesn't use frozen potatoes or frozen
Okay.
fries. They chop up the
It's
potatoes.
getting caught in my eyelash.
What got caught?
My own hair.
Oh, you don't care. But yeah, I would say that chicken sandwich, if I was blindfolded, that was put in front of me on a plate, I would even, this is going to sound crazy, but I'd be like, oh, that's some local
Yeah.
chicken spot. That's
Like
some
Hot Chicks or
Yeah,
something.
that's some local hot chicken spot.
Yeah.
And then they'd say Burger King, boom,
I agree
mind
with you.
blown.
My mind is blown.
My mind's blown. That being said,
Do you want to try the spicy one? Because I
That's okay.
probably only eat half. Okay.
whatever you don't eat, I'll give to the birds.
Okay.
That being said, even though that was good,
They're going to love it.
and I would eat it again, and it's at Burger King if you're in a pinch, I don't think I would get it over Chick-fil-A.
I haven't had Chick-fil-A in so long. Wait. Maybe at an airport once.
I would choose Chick-fil-A
I would
over
too.
the BK, but props to BK for coming out with something new and not doing their normal shitty mix shit version of it.
I have a couple friends that had an agreement that they're allowed to eat Chick-fil-A if a gay person buys it for them. Which
I personally
wait,
don't know
maybe-
any gay
maybe
people
it's
that
like-
don't eat it.
Maybe it's like I have to buy. Why would that agreement be good? That the gay person loses money on it?
I think they're
Maybe
saying
I need to buy them.
they're saying if the gay person approves, then it's okay if I do it.
Okay.
I was with a gay guy,
Okay,
so
okay.
it's not. But I personally, this is controversial.
Oh,
I
here
don't
we
think.
go.
I think it's so controversial. You're
Hot
not
take.
going to agree with
And
me.
I'm not. Can I have one of those?
Yes, take two.
I'm not going to be your friend anymore.
I think you'll still be my friend, but you won't. Okay. Anyway, here's
what
my
is
opinion.
it?
I don't think Chick-fil-A is homophobic. I think they're religious, and it's different. The owner of Chick-fil-A never said, I don't like gay people. He doesn't support gay marriage because he believes marriage between a man and a woman. I don't agree with him. I don't care if a man and a man get married. But I don't think that means, oh, I'm going to boycott them. They're homophobic, personally. And I personally also don't know a single gay person that boycotts them. I'm sure they exist in the thousands, but I don't know any.
Yeah.
Every gay person I know eats there.
I feel like the gay people we know are comedians. I mean, not all, of course, but
My brother.
Is it gay?
My brother's a homosexual
Cool.
young man,
And he eats it.
and he eats it. and I'm okay that he eats it. I think he should be allowed to
Yeah,
eat
I
it.
love how you were like, I'm okay that
I think he should be
he
allowed to eat
eats
there.
Chick-fil-A. Nothing to do with it's cruelty. Yeah.
They have gay employees. And
And they don't fire them because of
and
it.
they don't fire them because of it. And I know they're gay, and not because they told me, but because of the inflection on their voices.
Oh yeah, you surmise that.
I have a great gaydar.
I feel like I do too. And I was thinking about that. You know, there's been that most recent Bachelor that came out. Oh, by the way, I don't think it really matters if I share my opinion, but I agree. It is actually, it feels like a little complicated because I obviously would like to support my gay friends and be like, if you don't want me to go there, I won't go there. I just don't think it's an issue for me because I don't eat there. So it's not like I'm taking a stance.
It's not an issue. And if I was with a gay person and he was like, I don't go to Chick-fil-A, it's not like I'd be like, well, I'm going.
Right.
I'm going right now.
Right.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
I mean, if I have to say, I guess I disagree with you in that. If they're religious, then and they don't agree, then they're homophobic.
Inherently.
Yeah, but also like, my mom is practice for the most part. She's a spiritual person, religious, and she was going to. She tried a new church back home, and it was good for a while. It was like sort of mega churchy, and I went one time for Christmas, and it felt very Jesus Christ Superstar. It was a lot. There was like pyrotechnics and some smoke. And I was like, this is maybe too much. And speaking of gaydar, it felt like the guy who was leading the charge of the musical production
was a
gay.
closeted gay guy.
Yeah. I mean, he was married with his wife in it, but it was sort of like, you know, you don't want to be judgmental, but it did, all the signs pointed
I like being
to
judgmental.
gay. Yeah,
I like
know.
turning
It's still kind of your thing.
Yeah, like if we were sitting there
Yeah.
at the mega church together, I'd turn over and be like,
This guy's gay.
that guy's gay, right? He's gay.
Well, I thought that in my head, and then the pastor's sermon, and it's so interesting because I think I was there for it, this particular one, but he was telling the story about how in college his roommate tried to kiss him basically, and he knew right then and there that he needed to help him get the help that he needed to get well or something like that.
Oh, boy.
And that's when me and my mom were like, because
Yeah,
like everything,
why even tell that story?
everything up until that point felt like this church is fine. You know what I mean? Like I get people's desire to go and hear a gospel or tale that makes them feel better or some sort of story that's uplifting and to lead a life that's
Sure.
good to
yeah,
other
there's
people.
good messages
Sure.
that religion offers.
But there's also in this particular mega church, there was like a whole youth section, and they also are known for their coffee stand. So it's like a bunch of youth sipping on these fake Frappuccino looking things like, that seems fun. And then he's like, gay's bad. We need to get you help. And I'm like looking at that section because we were in the balcony because we always are a little late. And I'm just sad and heartbroken because the statistically, there's gay kids listening to that right now. I mean, they may not know or they're denying or whatever, but there's gay kids there that just heard that.
Yeah.
And then they're going like
1 out of 10, something like that.
they're like, go, go, go. No, I'm just kidding. But I feel like if some people don't even want to use a straw because that's gay, it's like, that's not going to help.
Wait, I don't know any guys that don't use straws.
I'm from Ohio.
Maybe
There are dudes
when
that
they're-
like won't use a straw.
Maybe when they're 12 or 13 years old, or
I don't know, maybe.
adult
It's like-
men. Do you know a 30-year-old
They don't want to get
man?
really good at sucking dick, so they don't want to suck out of a straw.
But this, in some ways, chugging a drink is almost more gay because it's like,
Right. You can
you're-
deep throat it and
Yeah,
chug
yeah.
once you come.
Yeah, it's chugging.
I'm going to say that to them next time. That's a good idea. Okay, anyway, I really diverted us because I took us back to that. Where were we going before? We were moving in a different direction and I brought us back.
Oh, I
Can you
love
remember?
talking about gays. Today's episode is brought to you by NordVPN. If you're not familiar with a VPN service, which some of you may not be, but I'm a tech nerd, so I am. I always use a VPN when I'm browsing the internet on my computer, whether that's a Mac or a PC or my phone or my iPad. I'm always using a VPN. It is honestly dumb not to. It is like using a Windows computer in the early 2000s without a antivirus. It allows you to browse the internet securely and anonymously. It protects you from DDoS attacks, from malware-ridden websites. It allows you to go on websites and make the website think you're in another country, because now there's a lot of websites that block you if they think you're in America, or certain content or certain games. So it's good to use NordVPN. Because of that, Casey Neistat uses NordVPN, PewDiePie, Philip DeFranco, a lot of big shots are using NordVPN, and so do I. It seems to be the fastest of the VPNs. It's one of those things that I truly think is going to be a standard thing that everybody uses. You know how back in the day everyone used Safari, Internet Explorer, and now everyone knows to use Chrome or Firefox? Chrome, basically Chrome now. VPNs are that. You need one. If you're not using a VPN, you're not being safe, in all honesty. So I recommend using a VPN, and go to nordvpn.com/therapy. Use the coupon code therapy to get a 2-year plan plus a bonus gift with a huge discount. That's nordvpn.com/therapy for that 2-year plan plus a bonus gift with a huge discount. And I know 2 years may sound like a lot, but it's one of those things you just need a VPN forever. And NordVPN is very affordable. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee if NordVPN is not for you. So there's really no risk. I use a VPN when I'm watching Netflix. I use a VPN when I'm surfing the web. I use a VPN when I'm gaming. It's dumb not to. If you're on public Wi-Fi, if you're on airport Wi-Fi, Starbucks Wi-Fi, use a VPN to protect yourself. Do not get your identity stolen. Do not get your computer hacked. Be smart. Use NordVPN.
Anyway, but you were headed in a different direction, then it brought us back to the religion thing. Where were we going? It was like this way.
That gay people should be allowed to eat at Chick-fil-A.
I know, but then we were
And I
moving
mean
on
that.
from that.
Some people think I don't mean it. I mean it. They should be allowed to eat there.
Anyway, my mom left that church.
And now she's at a different church.
No.
No, she
Hasn't
gave up
found
God.
another one. Yeah, she's a witch.
You
No.
think that the church would have the social awareness to say, hey, let's just not talk about gay people at church. Even if we don't think 2 men should get married, let's just avoid that
let's leave
question. Why bring it up? Let's focus on other things.
Right. It just feels
That's
like
what I would do.
Gays, it's tale as old as time. It's a reality.
Like if I was homophobic living in West Hollywood, I would at least just keep my views inside. I'd keep my homophobia right in here, and I would not say to people, by the way, I don't like gay people. I would not. I would just, why say that around here?
Especially what's
that gonna do?
Space.
Yeah. Luckily for me, love the gays.
Yeah, me too.
Could be gay. Who knows?
I've thought about it myself.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've never experimented?
I'm trying to think of the times that I have. Like I would never deny it. If I was falling in love with a woman, I would be like, oh no, this is
That'd be cool.
not what. Yeah, I think it would be cool.
I wish I was gay.
Yeah, there are times where I've thought, although there are times where I've said to my therapist in times of like, I don't know about men. Wouldn't it be nice? And she's like, I have gay clients. It's not easier.
Yeah, it's the same.
This is the same relationship problems.
So, yeah, it's the same issues. But at least you have more, I think the advantage to being bisexual at least would be then your pool is bigger.
Sure.
Oh, I could date her or him.
Yeah.
Whereas
but
now it's like maybe just her.
maybe you don't know the answer, but I feel like somewhere along the way I picked up the idea that like some people don't believe in bisexual if they're gay. I think it's a reality.
Yeah, some people don't believe, but I mean, it's got to be a reality because you meet people who are like, oh, I've had a girlfriend and I've had a boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
the
unless
point
they're
is I'm
lying-
open to it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely open to it. But yeah, and experiment wise, like I've never gone down on a woman or anything. I made out with a woman at Pride Parade.
I guess
Yeah.
counts for something. I've never made out with a man.
She definitely wanted to go further, and I think it made. I don't even know when this was. When I lived in Chicago, so years ago, and I just was scared. It just made me scared. I was like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm
The
doing.
makeout made you scared.
No, when she
when
wanted to go
wanted
further.
Yeah. Well, next Pride.
Yeah, next Pride.
Yeah, so
I know
for
where
next
I was
year.
going. I was gonna say gaydar. Like
Oh yeah.
I shouldn't even publicly admit that I watched The Bachelorette or The Bachelor.
Everyone does.
I know, but it's so bad for us.
I don't watch it, but
And bad.
most people do.
It's bad for the world. But yeah, all like 40 women didn't pick up on the fact that Colton was gay. He just came out as gay.
Do you think they didn't pick
And I
up on it, or they
did.
just chose to ignore it for the show?
Yeah, maybe you're right. They're
Yeah.
like, I need an endorsement
Did you
deal
pick
with
up
hair
on it?
growing gummies, so I'm going to pull through here. And it's not like they had to do anything with them.
Did you pick up on it at all when you
I
watched
did,
the show?
yeah. I felt like that from the time I saw him. And I don't mean like That's how whatever in tune I am. I just was like, I don't want to say it's a red flag if you're a virgin when you're in your 30s, because I want to respect people's decisions.
No,
and
it is a red flag.
But
A little bit.
That
doesn't necessarily mean that
I've known
person's
virgins
horrible,
in their
but-
late 20s, early 30s that are religious and have since gone on to find partners.
Yeah.
So it's like, I respect that it's a reality. It's not one for me. I think it is this is hacky, but like you got to test drive the car before you buy it.
Absolutely.
What are you talking about?
Even living with the person.
Yeah.
A lot of couples don't live with their significant others first. To me,
It's
that's a
amazing
big
what kind of
mistake.
conversations don't happen before marriage, even with people I know and love. It's like, you didn't discuss that? What do you freaking mean? You signed up for a lifetime.
Lifelong. What if you move in with a lady and she leaves hairs all over the shower wall?
Right.
I don't want that kind of lady. And that's like half of ladies.
That's most lady. I
That's
take
most
mine
lady.
out. I do a thing where
Yeah, so if you take it
I
out,
go
no,
like
of
this.
course.
I comb it. Like,
understand
I
hairs
shampoo.
fall off,
Yeah,
yeah.
I shampoo. Then I conditioner. And when I'm conditioning, I use my fingers like a comb. That's when the hair comes out. Then I
Sure.
go like this and roll it in a ball.
Yeah,
take
put
out
it
of
on
my
the
hand,
shower wall.
and then I stick it to the shower door, which I then put in the trash on my way
Sure,
out.
but then you put it in the trash.
And I collect it to make chipmunk wigs.
Smart. Those
Yeah.
are going up in
On
value.
Etsy.
Those are collector items.
Yeah.
Good. What are the ETFs? Yeah, you can have chipmunk ETF. But I'd say what?
Wait, NFT?
NFT. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I don't even know what they are, but I recently said I would do something for one, so I'm just sort of like,
You should do a chipmunk hair chipmunk
good idea.
NFT.
Yeah.
But 50% of women don't do that. They just
is that
leave it
true?
up on the shower. I made up that statistic,
okay.
but a big percentage of women. just
Before
leave it
I
up
do
on
throw
the
it
shower.
away, and depending, my hair's shorter now, but I used to love to see what I could see in the hair
Wait.
visions. Like if you fling it.
Oh, like a shape.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? Like a
looking up at the
mermaid?
stars.
Yeah. Like, what do you see?
But then after you see what you see,
I
you
get
throw
that
them
it's
out.
disgusting. Yeah.
To
I
me.
get that it's disgusting.
I think not all guys would think it was disgusting. You have
Right,
to find
just
that
like not all
compatible
women
person.
think it's disgusting to leave your little beard clippings or your shavings all around the
I
sink.
think that's disgusting if a guy does that.
But some people don't.
Yeah. And those are the type of, that's a couple that should get married.
Yeah.
The same lady that leaves her hair on the shower should marry the guy who leaves his pubes all over the top of the sink.
Yeah, but wouldn't it? Yes, I agree with you. Or maybe we could encourage them to clean it up. But if
I
they're
tried
both
it
okay
once.
with it, great.
I had a girlfriend. We lived together. Mm-hmm. She was the leaving the hair type
Okay.
of lady. And I told her
Please.
2 times, I said, hey, I get it.
I
Your
love
hair,
you.
Your hair
Told her
falls out.
2 times.
2 times. I said, I get it. Your hair falls out. You're a lady. I understand that's natural. And I understand you forget sometimes. And
Yeah.
leave it there. But can you please make an attempt? I don't like it. Can you please clean up after yourself, your hair?
Yeah.
Didn't do it.
Never once.
Maybe
Not
once.
even try?
Maybe once, but like I knew you can't change her. That's her.
No.
That's part of her.
Yeah.
That's a quality she has.
My mom even because I grew up with all girls, including my mom, so 4 of us in the house. We've always had a little roll of paper towels right by the edge of the bathtub because you get out, you take a paper towel, and you go over the drain and put it in the trash. It's also
Yeah.
a plumbing issue.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, you got to put it in the trash because
But
then
we were
yeah,
talking about this
exactly.
over the weekend. I was in Georgia with my friend Meredith.
Rooter.
And she was saying another thing I didn't realize, which is an indicator. And she was recognizing it about herself, but she was like, if women don't do that, it's sometimes an indicator that they grew up with a maid
Could be.
privileged.
Could be, but this girl didn't
No.
have a maid. So finally, it was a few months, and I sat her down. And I
You
said,
gave her
listen.
an ultimatum?
I said, listen.
Unless you're going to open an Etsy where
You have
you
to-
make chipmunk wigs.
I said, we're over. And she started crying. She goes, what? Why?
Did you really?
And I said,
out of a movie of
you
an
left-
80s bully, like,
I
"We're
told you
over, babe."
twice. I told you twice.
Is this
There's
was this
hair all
for
over.
real?
We did break up, but I didn't say
Okay,
it was
okay,
because of
okay,
that. But it was
sorry.
that was just one of the things.
Okay.
Okay, I'm being honest. If that was the only flaw in the lady, and maybe some people would say not even a flaw. If that was our only discrepancy, only difference, I could suck it up and be with the woman
Yeah.
till the end of time.
You maybe would figure out a little contraption to scoot the hair out.
I'd shave her head while she's asleep.
That's a better idea.
Yeah. And she'd wake up, well, why would you do that? And I'd be like, I told you twice.
Yeah. And third time, you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. This is what you get next time.
I put it
Listen,
in
luckily
little
your hair is
writing.
going to grow back. And now hopefully you've learned your lesson.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's really healthy in relationships. Teach your partner lessons.
Give them ultimatums.
Yeah, give them ultimate
Teach 'em
teach them
lessons.
lessons.
Shave
Women
their
love
head
that.
when they're sleeping.
Women love that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, I feel like it's like a classically female stereotype to give ultimatums. You know, like in movies and TV and media, it's always like a woman being like, "You either do this or
Right.
you're gone." You know,
You either take less hours at the job, or we're done.
or I'll stay with you because I don't have one.
Yeah. You're at the office too much. Oh, well, do you want to get a part-time job so that could
I
be
do
there
not.
less? No, you don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you, if you have a serious relationship now, I assume your hips are just begging yourself for a baby. That's just, science.
I thought about it this morning, actually.
See? Yeah, you're just craving
But
one.
for me, it's more like a puppy situation. Like, I also want a puppy,
Puppies
but I
would
don't
be-
want to take care of it.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, life would be,
Roller coaster?
irrevocably changed.
Yes.
Maybe I should do a vocal warm-up. There's been a couple times where,
I mean, you could probably get it adopted pretty easily if you do it early enough.
bibbity bobbity boo.
Boo.
Yeah, but
I know if that's
guess what?
not
This
good.
also came up. Surrogacy for someone else, meaning like a couple friends. I have several couples of friends actually that are wanting to get pregnant. And so they need a man's sperm. Now, my boyfriend wasn't asked, but I thought about it. I was like, that would make me jealous. If
your
he
boyfriend
donated his
donates it.
sperm
Interesting.
to someone we know, especially someone we know.
Even if donation meant in a cup, not like having sex
Oh,
with
of
them
course
for
it would
fun,
be in a
or
cup.
for,
Yeah.
for a favor.
Yeah. Right.
If someone asked me for my sperm, which isn't going to happen because no one wants like a big Jewy baby,
Okay.
but if someone did, I'd say, absolutely, I'd love to help you in your journey,
Yeah.
but I
Right.
only do it the old-fashioned way because I don't believe in babies created by science.
So you would
So we'd have to have
some
sex.
sex.
Yeah.
And they would be like, thank you for your time. Yeah,
Get a little
I would be
sex out of it.
jealous. Yeah, because I would see a beautiful little baby and I'm like, well, that was
Would you be
with
jealous?
the guy that I like.
Would you be jealous if he also gave you a baby at the same time?
No, maybe not. Maybe less jealous.
And so you're okay
But
if
what
he
if their
spreads his
baby
seed
was
around?
better?
You know how guys, who get caught cheating,
Uh-huh.
or maybe not get caught, guys who cheat are like, it's our natural instinct to spread our seed. Like this is the way man was made to spread. What if you're like, I get that. So go donate your sperm.
Yeah.
There you go, spreading it.
See, yeah, I like that. That's
Mm-hmm.
a good one for the ladies out there.
Yeah, tell that to your cheating son of a bitch man.
Yeah. I always think mine is cheating.
You do?
Yeah,
Is
there's
that because
something
you've been cheated
unrested
on
in me.
in the past, or is that because he puts out shady vibes?
Yeah, it's just
Probably the
like
dreadlocks.
a couple things. I love how you just racially profiled my boyfriend.
I didn't say race. I said hair. There's white guys with dreadlocks.
And they should be
Dreadlocks.
shot. You know what? Wait, I think wait. What was the question? What were we just saying?
Why do you
Oh,
have
the
that
cheating.
feeling that
Oh,
you're being
I
cheated
know.
on?
For example, you know how like the internet, you can peek around if you want on an X.
You mean social media?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know, and I do until they block me.
Yeah. Well, I actually did get blocked by my ex,
too.
which I'm friends with a lot of my exes, so I'm not used to that.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular guy, I know it sounds cheesy, but I was very much like, I don't want to be with you. I made that clear a couple
Is
times.
this the guy that I know?
Comic?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And and again, this sounds cheesy, but I was like, we should just leave it at love. Like, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. You know, like, I'm not saying like you've done something terribly wrong. I don't want to be with you. It's just not working.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
That's
And
how,
I would be
that's how you
heartbroken
gave the
too.
breakup speech.
Yeah.
You said, "Hey, it's just I love you. It's just not working."
I was just, I hate the whole I love you, but I'm not in love with you. But it's just sort
Right.
of like, this isn't what I want. We're in very different places.
Right.
It's just not working.
I was literally gonna ask you, how do you break up with someone? But
Oh, I'm
that's one way.
horrible.
Yeah,
Horrible
it's tough.
at it.
It's very tough.
Horrible. The pandemic helped.
Did it?
Yeah, for me to say, because I already was germophobic-ish, just
so
in
you
a
could just say, I
general
can't
way.
be around you.
Yeah. But also like he was young, and I don't know. I also always assumed he was being shady.
Didn't you guys break up before the pandemic?
I tried to a couple times. Like 6 months in, I was like, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
We're in different places. And he was sort of
Didn't.
like, but I'm in love with you. And I was like, sometimes when people are like, oh, I'm in love with you, I'm like, I must too. You know, like that's
I'll
like
give it a shot then.
Yeah, that's like
Well,
the
if you
people
love me, I'll
pleaser.
give it a shot because I like being loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's part of it.
I do like being
I do
loved.
like being loved like this.
Yeah.
And also, it just feels like, I don't know. I know it's only hurts me, so it's not like, good job, Beth. Like you're some sort of martyr. But like, I don't know if somebody says that. I just sort of be like, well, I guess I should give it a try. But it keeps me in things way too long.
No one wants to hurt someone.
Yeah, I never
and
did.
When someone's begging for you back, essentially.
Yes.
Begging
You're like,
you not to break up with them, part of you is like, I don't want to hurt that person. Okay,
and maybe
like,
they're right.
Yeah.
I wish I were so sure, but I'm not often like so sure about a
Right.
man. I've never really been sure. Even my first love, which was amazing. Like I always feel like the first love is like the best or something. Even then I always felt uncertain. I don't know if it's like because I'm from divorced parents or my child
Did
had
your
issues
parents
with my
cheat
parents.
on each other?
No, but they had like domestic violence. So I think there's like a lack of trust there where you're just sort of like, I can't fully be comfortable with this person ever. So I can't, if I'm not totally sure, then why would I stay?
Now, not every guy would be cool with this, but
Mm-hmm.
what if they make these little tiny chest cams now?
That's on my second album.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm for body cams for men.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. They just won't do it. Like, nah, it's
Some guys
it's
would. You got to
cumbersome.
find a real simp of a man, or is
Yeah.
that the right term?
Isn't that
Wimp?
simp is annoying
Simp.
to me. It's so funny because like
That's a popular
we
term
need
this
help,
year.
right? I'm a feminist. Don't hate men. I'm a feminist. I don't hate men. I date one. It's just
Yeah.
like,
I'm a feminist.
yeah, but it's sort of like the simp thing is so stupid to me. You're like ragging on male feminists, like you're just trying to do that to get laid. It's like, who cares if that is why they're trying to do it to get laid? We need help. We need help from men who are in power.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see the argument
So
of not liking it when they're
other
doing
men
it just
call
to
them
get laid.
simps, well, I don't even care about that.
Yeah.
But if you believe it, you believe
I
it.
think most simps aren't doing it to get laid.
I agree with
I
you.
think they're
but I'm just saying that's an
yeah.
argument that's presented
Right,
by other men to
Oh,
call them
right.
simps. It's like
Got it.
calling someone a male nurse as if it's an insult. It's just sort of like, no, I mean, they're doing a good thing. So it bothers me that like the men who are trying to help us, and again, so much progress has been made. My God.
So much.
Yeah, like we used to not be able to have credit cards for God's
Almost
sakes.
too much.
But that's the thing. It's like then the men who are continually trying to uplift or like make sure there is more equality are called simps and like ragged on for being male feminists. Like if you're the guy that's doing that, who's like, you're a simp and you're a male, like actually ragging at other men, it's like, you must know that you are the person who would probably be calling a woman a victim, but you're playing the victim.
I think we have two different definitions of simps, or I'm confused
Okay.
on simp.
Tell me yours.
So you're describing kind of, to me, a really woke guy who's like, believe all women, 50% women, make the lineups all women. That's not a simp to me.
I just sprayed that in my face. Okay.
That's not a simp to me.
Okay.
That's like a ultra lib woke dude. A simp to me
Okay.
is if we went on a date and
And he was like, mama, and tried to.
yeah, just someone who's kind of like would do anything to please a woman. You know what I mean? A little bitch boy.
Okay.
Is a simp.
Yeah. Obviously, everyone's balance is better
Yeah.
balanced, right? Like, I don't know if I was constantly like trying to be sexy to you and you never saw me like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of, and you never saw me be very real or like human. It wouldn't be attractive. Like
No, you're the
balance
real
is
deal.
everything.
You don't have much of a filter, do you?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I stopped like even raising my voice to order. I don't even do that. And
at a restaurant?
it's such an interesting observation to be making. Yeah. I'm not saying I never do it because like, but it's such an interesting thing. It's like a polite thing for a woman to raise the tone of her voice to order.
I never knew that.
So-
it was a thing.
If I walk up to a counter and I'm like, I want a black coffee and a scone to go. Thank you. Like that's, I would say middle, right? Because I'm not, I don't mean go up and go, hey, give me a scone
Right.
and a coffee. No, black. What do you think? Like it's not rude.
Sure.
It's just sort of like, hi, this is what I want. So I'm going to say it how I normally talk versus truly, I don't want to go too far. So I'll do it realistically.
Yeah.
Hi, do you think I could get a coffee and
That's how I
I'll
do
also
it.
do a scone. Thank you so much.
That's how I do it.
Again, it doesn't mean like you have to be rude or something, but it's the lifting of it because you can hear it drastically in
you're
some
saying.
other people.
Yeah, the polite order.
Yeah. And it's always like, hi, I'm a little baby.
But I don't think that's a girl thing. Guys I do. I feel like I do that.
But you're a little girl.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a little simp.
I'm a gun owner.
You're a little. Are you really?
Yeah. I like sports. I've
killed a man.
Yeah. Well, you
Wait,
can't talk
so
about that.
what kind of gun do you have?
I have a bunch of guns. Well, not a bunch. I have 3. I have a
Okay.
revolver.
Okay.
I have a 12-gauge shotgun.
Wow.
And I have a rifle, an old Springfield rifle.
And are they collectors, or they're loaded, or they're not loaded, but you have ammo?
They are not loaded, but I have ammo, and I do use them on occasion.
And you go to the gun range.
I've been known to go to the gun range. I also, probably my favorite thing to do, go to Walmart, buy a bunch of ammo, go out to the desert, just drive into the desert and set up bottles and just shoot with some buds, drink a beer and shoot cans.
Yeah.
I was watching, literally on the car ride over here,
Yeah.
I was watching in Texas, there's a wild hog infestation.
Yeah.
There's millions of hogs there.
Yeah.
They're like rats.
Yeah, I know.
And people are shooting them out of helicopters, all this stuff. I want to go to Texas with my guns. and shoot hogs.
One of my ex-boyfriends, Nick, who is great and I love, he's done hog. What do they call it though? No, is there another name for hog?
Boar.
Boar. He's done boar hunting with a knife. So
The
you have to
knife,
like, get
that's
down
crazy.
and stab it.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
That's a man.
And he had
I guess I
he
am
was
a
a
simp
man.
because I'm not doing that.
Yeah. There was boar soup available and deer stew in his freezer constantly because he also shot deer.
Oh,
and
big Joe
hunted
Rogan
deer.
fan.
I don't even know if he's ever listened to a podcast in his life.
Oh, he's such a man that he
Yeah.
doesn't know
Yeah.
listen to podcasts.
Doesn't even put
Badass.
those- yeah.
I guess I am a simp. I'm not stabbing a boar. That's
yeah.
for sure.
And you had to gut that deer and stuff. And
I've been
to the gun range with him, and it was. I recommend everyone do it for 2 reasons. One, when you watch movies, you're less frustrated. Like, what was it? True Grit, where the spoiler alert, where the girl has the huge rifle in the river, and you're like, you dumb little bitch, fucking shoot him. And until you actually go to the gun range and hold a gun and feel its power and the fear and like how powerful it is, you don't realize like how that is scary and difficult and hard.
Yeah, but doable. Very doable.
It
And you
gives
do
a
it-
weight
yeah.
to it and a fear and a reality.
Does this make me sexist? Sometimes I have the other thought where when I'm watching a movie where the woman is kicking a bunch of dudes' asses,
You're like, no.
I'm like, come on, like, listen, I love women, but no,
Not
that guy would
happening.
destroy her. He's way stronger than her.
But I've watched that, in all kinds of movies. I think that's what's so silly is like maybe some people don't realize how difficult it is. I mean, we're
Yeah.
suspending our disbelief constantly.
True.
I love John Wick. He's
so
dead.
good.
He's not inhuman. He's dead. He's
Yeah.
died so many times.
So many times.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
So,
Keanu can
but
pull it off.
when
'cause
I went
he's
to see Wick
majestic.
3, I think in the theater or whatever,
John Wick 3, yeah.
whatever it would have been, they
Which is
were
the most
doing
absurd one of the 3.
they were doing the horses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing a trailer for a movie where a woman is kicking a bunch of ass in a huge diner,
Mm-hmm.
and she looked like just bones. And I leaned over to him and I was like, "She's so strong," and he like died laughing because it's true. It's like this woman doesn't
Right.
eat food,
Right.
and she's truly killing 40 men at
Right.
once.
She's a model, like
she
literally
was
like
a-
a slender supermodel type.
yeah. She would
kicking
never
ass.
touch this spicy chicken sandwich.
Yeah. She orders salads
She would cut a hole
with no dressing.
sooner in the back of her head, so it just dropped out the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, movies.
Anyway, but yeah.
And that's why we need to make the movies to make them realistic.
Yeah.
That's
You know what's?
why.
I was thinking about that too. Like, you know how comics are pretty precious about stand-up comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the best stand-up has been produced by people who aren't stand-ups. Like stand-up shows, stand-up movie related. They're
do you-
better when they're not produced by stand-ups.
Or
acted by
What do you
stand-ups.
give me an example?
I guess latest example would be, like Obvious Child,
I haven't seen that.
or, I mean Maisel even, right? she's
Oh,
not.
got
She's
it.
not a
Yeah, yeah.
comic.
Right.
It's well done and written. You know.
Sure. Because sometimes the most realistic approach isn't the best for the story.
Exactly.
So comics, for example, even with Pete Holmes' show
Right.
or I'm Dying Up Here, you meet the comics and go, that's not realistic.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, it's a TV show. It's
Right.
a drama.
Right.
There's
Right.
it's not, if it was realistic, it'd be boring.
Yeah.
Then it'd be a documentary.
And to counter even my own point, there's also been horrible stand-up done by non-comics
Sure.
as well, where it's like, oh, bud, you should have absolutely brought somebody in. This is hurtful.
You need the balance.
There was one where Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who's very talented, Do you know that actress? She's in Fargo. She's talented, but she played a stand-up comic, and I was like, they've done us dirty. This is actually bad for women in comedy. This is bad. Also, like, they have her barf before she goes on stage at the Comedy Cellar. It's like, okay.
How many people have done that?
Comics?
I'm sure it's been done, but
no.
not,
Maybe
not
from a
cellar.
nervous audition.
Yeah, not
maybe
the cellar.
from
By
a
the time
nervous
you're going
audition.
up at the cellar,
No.
you're good.
When you're a comic that's an alcoholic, you're real good at drinking. You're not gonna barf.
Oh, I thought she was barfing out of nerves.
No.
God.
It's to show like I drank too much. I'm a boozer. It's like alcoholics are very good at drinking.
Yeah, they don't barf. That's
Maybe
a
they
waste.
pass
That's a waste of
out
the
or
alcohol.
sleep or something.
Is there anything in your life that I could help you with as your unlicensed therapist?
Yeah, I guess remember we were talking about earlier, like my not trusting and stuff, and always worried about cheating, and it's a battle in my head, right? Because, and also I think we talked about this a little bit off, like when we were just hanging. I did take some birth control that was psychotic. Like it
made you
really
psychotic.
affected me badly.
It'll do
it was
that.
called Yaz, and I would stay away from it.
Stay away from Yaz. It sounds fun. Yaz?
Yeah.
Pass me
I
some
didn't know there
Yaz.
was a full body cam.
But
I guess
I'll
I just
crop
look
it.
like
I will- I
don't
won't use it.
care.
I'll
You
crop
can use it.
You look great.
I just was like, I don't think I've been doing anything weird down here. I did. What if I was just like, there's just like 4 takes of me itching my crotch?
I've been
I don't
doing
think I
weird
did
stuff
that.
with my feet.
You have?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been taking off my
I'm
sandals
just,
and
yeah,
stuff.
I'm wearing Chris's shirt. So I think it's really just
Is his name okay? Is he allowed to say it?
Chris.
Chris with the dreads.
Yeah.
Hot guy you don't trust.
I want to trust him, and I should, and I do. And he told me, like, I've had these I'm not over here like never sharing my feelings or concerns. We've talked about it. I've checked.
Do you like a guy who reassures you a lot?
That's what's happened. The last 2 that we've talked about were comics, very intense, very into me, making it known constantly. Like I had trouble breaking up with them.
Mm-hmm.
The one before that would like convince me we were soulmates.
Chris is too chill.
He's very chill. He's
Yeah.
very self-sufficient and safe in himself or secure in himself. He says I'm his first girlfriend, but there was someone before. So like, and the
Wait,
reason
you're
I
his
bring
first girlfriend?
that's what he says.
How old
but
is he?
29 tomorrow.
That's a little bit of red flag.
Yeah. So, wait, hold on. Where was I going with that? Oh. I'm his first girlfriend. So he's never had to make compromises before
Right.
or try. He's just, and he also has said some things that have poisoned the well for sure. Like I'm choosing you, not like you're lucky I'm choosing you, but I'm choosing you because I know you want this. But yeah, I want us to work because I don't want to have to like rebuild my roster in LA. And I'm like, why would you say that to me? Now I'm thinking about that. There's so many things he said where I'm like, you can't say that.
Got it. So you either have to forgive and forget,
Which is
hard, or yeah.
Also,
or end it.
like it took me saying stop sleeping with other people for him to do it. Whereas I felt
But-
like he was giving me all the signs for me to stop doing it. We've talked about this. So like we started dating. I'm seeing
but
other
you weren't
people.
official yet.
Right.
You were just dating. Okay.
Yes, again. So like within the rules, of course he's right.
Right.
But I was seeing other people too. And then all the things he was saying to me made me feel guilty about continuing to sleep with other people. So I stopped.
But were
And I
you
got
guys
very into
openly
him.
talking about it?
No.
Okay. Because I hate that
No, we
when a
weren't.
girl's talking about seeing other people, and I get that she's allowed to, but I'm like, you don't need to tell me about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you haven't said, hey, I think I'd like to be exclusive.
Right.
So again, I didn't bring it up because I also love and appreciate something organic. Like who wouldn't? You want
Yeah.
to fall in love with somebody and have it be great and have that be your story. Not like, well, we were falling in love, but he was still fucking 3 other people and I knew about it and I had to tell him to stop even though like it just sucks.
Yeah.
But I also understand that like that is a reality of dating. I don't know. I'm just like, I never had to date in LA.
3 other people. He must be handsome.
Sure. He's tall. He's very tall. I mean, of course, I think he's hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just like because I knew that and I stopped. Again, assuming
Yeah.
it's not a good enough excuse that he was stopping. But it just felt like he was giving me all the signs that he wanted to be exclusive. So I was feeling guilty staying with the other guys. And I wanted to let myself fall for him. But then when I was like, I saw a text from someone else and he said something like to them back. And I was like, I'm not kidding. It made my heart like drop into my
Yeah,
stomach.
of course.
Because I was like, we've been seeing each other now for a couple months, like 2.5 months. And I see that text and you're like laying with me. And it's like, that's where it was born.
Yeah.
I will
That's
like
normal.
I would like to say I am not so broken that I can't start with trust.
Sure.
It was like that happened and it dropped into my stomach and I was just so hurt. And then I did have the conversation with him where I was like, I just want to be with you. Is that what you want? And he's very honest and he said yes. And so I knew he meant it. And so from what I understand, he stopped sleeping with people at that time. But it also bothered me because I'm just like, it just gets into, we are a whole and you guys are a sword. It's basically like you're fighting with a sword and we're like defending ourselves with some sort of weird net. like what are you going to do with a net
From
to
a
hurt
sexual
someone?
context.
Yeah. So
I think
it's like if you're out there sorting around into other people's nets or caves, wet holes, and then you do it to me, it's just sort of like there's a safety thing, there's a respect thing. And I know, men and women are different or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
definitely
just,
are.
but I've always, I think these are the things that are bothering me because I have always erred on the side. Like I was trying to think of this on Santino's podcast. It's called like Pick Me Girl. Girls who are like, no, and I'm into sports and I like guy things and I'm more of a dude. But I have always sort of leaned towards that. I'm constantly around men.
That's a real thing.
And
There's
I think,
girly girls, there's not girly girls.
but I think before the pill, I was that. And I think it changed me. And it
For
made me
life.
like, no, because I switched and now I'm on a different one that seems to be better. But it did change me. It like made me fucked up
Yeah.
and like very emotional.
Fuck.
It sucked.
Yeah.
I scream cried calling my sister on the phone. Like I couldn't control myself.
Yeah.
It was very
I'm
upsetting.
glad that's over.
And it's also I don't get pregnant, but he's allowed to jizz in me. Like life is hell.
Life is hell. I from hearing this,
Yeah.
what do I know?
It started getting hot.
But I think for your own sanity, you need to take him at his word that he stopped. And you need, even if deep down you think you don't know what he's doing behind your back, because you don't.
I don't.
You don't.
And I never will.
And you can't.
And why?
That's
and
just part of being an adult.
He's
You
actually
have to,
handed me his phone to read an email for him, proofread an email. And I was like, this is a test. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't look at anything but the email. Of course I fucking wanted to.
Sure.
I wanted to look at the fucking text message and be like,
But the fact that he even did that is a good sign.
I agree.
And I think you just have to trust him for yourself. And you may find out a year from now that he's been cheating on you the whole time. And
I know.
You're right. But you can't live like that. You can't live with that feeling of
It sucks. But
I'm
I
getting
do that
cheated on.
already in my head. It's a storm.
yeah. So you
It's a
got it.
storm. I'm always like, who was that texting? Somebody wrote. Like I'll see, I have very bad vision. So that sucks because I'd love to snoop more, like just over a shoulder. But I can never see. But sometimes
Not
I'll
healthy
see.
to snoop anyway.
Well, I know. But snooping is, if you're going like that, that's less of a snoop than like, let me memorize this.
It's less,
fucking-
but even that you shouldn't do.
But I agree. But it's because I'm not trusting.
Yeah.
And because of the text message that hurt me originally.
Yes. But that was before you were official.
I agree.
I gotta say,
Again, I know that.
I'm on his side, even if he's cheating on you. I'm on his side because you gotta wait until you find out. You can't.
But
you
what if
can't
I
live
never
your
find
life.
out? What if he has like some
Then
sort of strange addiction?
you know what?
And
If-
meets up with
if-
women on Craigslist.
If that's actually the case and you never find out, you never find
Ignorance
out.
is
Ignorance is bliss. Yeah.
Until I get like an STD.
I do think that most people cheat.
I think so too. It's a
I think
nightmare.
literally
Oh.
75% of people cheat.
I think it's sick.
Men and women.
I used to do like I have a joke about it where I say I'm a Tarzan dater. Like before I let go of this dick, I'm swinging to the next dick.
Yeah.
And I would do a thing in my youth where basically I would definitely cheat, but not in the old classic term of like two-time. It was like this was on the way out and
Yeah.
I would secure that this was going to happen and then never go back.
Right.
It was wrong,
Yes.
but that used to be my behavior and I don't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
totally.
speaking of like the guys who are like the comics who are like very intense and very into me, there is like an annoyance to that because that's not healthy either. But there is also a security in that where it's
Right.
like, they love me, I'm good.
Right.
Like I never doubted them. But I did even though. Never with,
You still doubt it
Never
a little
with-
bit when they're on the road or something.
yeah, the other one. Never with the first one, but with the second one because he was young and stuff and didn't fully like, I feel like know himself. I doubted him and I was right. Like
he
I don't
did
think he
cheat.
ever, no,
Oh.
I don't think he ever cheated, but I think he just like always was exploring options and is
That's-
opportunistic
That's kind of.
and dates women who can give him things.
Ooh. I need to do that.
Jobs and things.
Oh, I need to do that shit. I don't even know how to do that.
You don't have to date me and I can help.
Thank you. That's nice of you. Want all the help. But no, I've always thought about that. Like, would I have sex with
A producer.
who's 300 pounds? And I don't think I could. Because a lot of them are chubby women.
Really?
Yeah. Not all of them are.
I was going to say, I picture them as like older and in a business suit.
If they're older in a business suit and attractive, I'd have I'd do it. Yeah. Doesn't matter who they are. I would do it. But to me, a lot of gatekeepers, and both men and women are like fat people.
Like the Weinstein situation.
Yeah, like the Like I wouldn't be able to do the Weinstein thing. Like a lot of these women are like, oh, I'll fuck them and get a role in the movie. I couldn't do it.
You wouldn't fuck Weinstein for anything. I mean, if you were
or
a
the
woman.
female equivalent. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get hard. I'd have to get drunk, take a Viagra.
Yeah.
It'd be a very hard thing to do.
Yeah.
For me. But women are different.
But it's interesting. They are, because it's interesting. I would never sleep with somebody for an opportunity. I don't mean to, I hope you don't feel judged or something.
No.
Yeah.
I would
just
if they
wouldn't.
were hot. But then I would even if there was no opportunity. That's the difference. So I guess.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I wouldn't either is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to. I'd kind of want to. I'd be like, oh, I wish I could.
Yeah. I'm over here like barely, and again, I don't mean to be like, I'm so, whatever. It's like a problem. I have, like, even when I am single, which is rare, I don't like accepting drinks from people at bars because I'm just sort of like, I don't want to have to talk to you.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't want to owe you anything.
I get what you're saying.
Like, conversely, sometimes I'm just looking for a guy to fucking pay half and not steal from me. The bar is low. So it's just sort of like, I think I'm, in that same vein, actually uncomfortable if someone were to come into my life and be like, treat me how my loved ones wish I were treated. Like, I don't mean overly blown up, but like, you're amazing and I want to treat you well and I want to buy things for you and provide for you or something. It would make me really uncomfortable. I wouldn't feel safe.
I think that's very progressive. And I think part of that is because you're a strong, independent woman, though.
Yeah.
If you were working at Taco Bell right now and making minimum wage, you'd probably be like, I'd love a guy to come here and take care of me.
I think so too, but I would still potentially feel, because I don't come from money, I still would feel like I owed him something. And that's part I don't like.
That's one time I had a girlfriend and I was paying the rent. She lived with me and I was paying the rent. And at first, I was like, I love her. I like being with her. I don't care. I'll pay the rent. I don't care at all. It doesn't matter. It's not part of the relationship. But you know what I found out? I did start subconsciously having these thoughts like,
resentment?
like I pay the rent. You should do that. You know what I mean? I had those thoughts. And that's when I know, I was like, I can't
And I
pay
would
the
love
rent
to say
anymore.
that that's like misogynist, but I felt that too.
Yeah.
With someone who I feel like
I couldn't
there's
control
a difference between, now I'm curious, there is a difference between support and what she might be bringing to the household and the relationship and feeling taken advantage of. Even if it's like appreciation. Thank you so much. Like, if you were paying my rent and I felt comfortable, that was agreement and I was her, I would genuinely every first of the month just say like, thank you so much. Or whenever you were paying rent, I'd be like, thank you so much. It really helps me.
That could have been helpful, or just contributing in some fashion, whether that's like, I'm going to deep clean the apartment once a week.
Oh, definitely cleaning and helping.
Buy the groceries, something like that. But it got to the
wasn't
point
happening?
where it just didn't feel even. And that in itself isn't a healthy thought to have in a relationship, that I feel like she should be doing this because I do this. So that's when it was kind of the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think it was misogynistic or anything.
No,
It was just
that's what I mean.
Yeah, it was just
I felt those
uneven.
feelings too.
Yeah.
But yeah, the trust is just your statistic, your fake one of 75% does scare me. You're right.
It's true.
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance
I think
is bliss.
I want to trust him, and again, like I told you, I've had this conversation with him, and I have evened out with the new birth control. It's odd what it did to me. It didn't make me want to have like babies, but it definitely made me feel more territorial and jealous, emotional.
Yeah.
Moody.
Oh, that's scary.
It is really scary. So I want to trust him. I should.
Here's
it's just
an
sometimes a
unhealthy
battle
way.
in my head.
Yeah. Here's an unhealthy method. Move in together. Then you know what he's up to pretty much all the time.
true.
He's not a comedian. He's not going on the road. Boom.
I know.
Problem solved. But that's not the real solution. But it would kind of.
But I think he's also said things to me, like, because I was going to I had a Europe tour that got canceled because of COVID. And he's said things to me like, well, if you find yourself in an extraordinary circumstance, like, I'm not going to stop you. that gets in my head.
Oh, he's saying like, go ahead.
If I were in Europe and this hot guy was like, can I go down? And he'd be like, fine with
Oh,
it.
that is a red flag.
So then when he says
means
that, I'm like,
then he wants,
is an
obviously he
extraordinary
wants reciprocate.
circumstance for you meeting someone at the saddle ranch? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's your extraordinary circumstance?
There are some hot TikTokers at the saddle ranch, so I say to this is probably not a good thing I should be saying to women, but
I've asked if he wanted to open it though after that.
You did ask him. But then he was like, no.
That's the annoying thing.
But he
like,
knew
what
you
is a
want him to
cheater,
say
right?
no.
What's a cheater? Because yes, of course.
Yeah.
But it's like, but if I know that you're not, don't let me be fully in this. If
Right.
you're not fully in this. So
You
I
want
have
open
said that to
honesty.
him.
Yeah.
Very, very honestly, we had this discussion. I was like, if you keep people on the side, if you're talking to people on the side, this sounds like a threat. It's not. I can do that too, and it would be fun. And then I wouldn't be so invested
Have you ever done
in
that?
you.
You've done open
Keep
relationships?
No.
Oh.
But I'm willing to try.
Oh, that's very open-minded of you.
I just know myself. I know I would be jealous, but I know that if that person, I'm not going to put everything of me
Right.
in this. If we're keeping people, let me keep people too. Or enjoy people occasionally other than you. I will probably eventually stop wanting to be with you.
Every girl that I'm with, I tell them they could be women. They could be with women if they want to.
Why is that a
I don't know.
thing?
I don't get jealous of like, if you were my girlfriend and you were attracted to women, I'd say, yeah,
I
be
mean,
with
my
all the
boyfriend
women
has
you want.
absolutely said, like, if you want to bring someone in, I want to have
Well,
a
that's
threesome.
different. But I'm saying you can go date them. You can go be in a relationship with a woman.
I'm not seeing the misogyny.
Okay,
but
good.
Maybe I'm
I
wrong.
don't see it either. But someone said that's misogyny. But to me, it's
did
like,
they,
I don't know.
Did they
for some
give us a
women-
reason why that was? I'd like to know.
No. But yeah, women don't make me jealous for some reason.
I mean, yeah.
Even
I don't
emotionally,
know.
though. I'm like, get a girlfriend. You could have a girl. I'll be your boyfriend. You could have a girlfriend. I'm cool with
The
that.
only misogynistic part was, go on, get.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, you just got to be
We're
trusting.
doomed.
You have to be trusting because you're going to be miserable if you're not.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Yeah,
I mean, and I
just for
have
your own
been. But it
sanity.
is it's exhausting. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be going like, everything's good. And if he did this and said this, then he must love me. And it's fine. I mean, he says he loves me. And he also has changed a lot to be, that sounds bad. He, like I told you.
He has made not
yeah,
sacrifices.
but-
he has
but he
compromised.
Yes. When
Made compromises, and so have you. But he has
because
made
I
them.
broke up with him because I said it's not working for me. And then he was like, well, I want to make it work. And so he has. So there's that.
I love him. I love him and his stupid dreads.
They're beautiful.
Why the dreads,
Don't talk
though?
about him like that.
Why the dreads?
What do you mean? That's like one of my favorite characteristics
is?
of him.
Dreads are dirty.
No, they're not.
They're not. Don't you get it? You can't shampoo your hair with dreads.
Yes, you do.
You do?
Yes.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
You wash your hair.
I was wrong.
They're not dirty.
How come white guys can't have dreads?
Because that's not the type of hair they have, and that's white guys are
No,
dirty.
no. I mean, they physically can have dreads, but you're like, white guys shouldn't have dreads. How come?
Your exact reason. They're disgusting because they're not meant to be to be a white guy and have dreads. Well, I don't know what they do. It's embarrassing.
I have really curly hair.
Yeah. So if
I
you
could probably do
you
it.
want to do dreads,
I don't want to, but I
yeah.
kind of do.
I don't even know what their white people do to make their hair dread,
I don't either. I would have
but
to
they
go to
look
the shop.
disgusting. Chris's hair is like beautiful.
I think a white guy could pull it
And
off
clean.
if it's really long, like past their shoulders. They have a really good tan body and they surf.
Yuck.
No? Still no?
White people with dreads is not okay and never will be. It's gross. Their hair is not
What if
doesn't dread.
they have
naturally.
one dread? All normal hair, they got one dread for fun.
That's a beaver
A little
tail.
fun. Yeah, a beaver tail then.
I don't even
No.
know how they would do that.
They sell kits on Amazon. Dread
Really?
Kits.
Are you
I assume.
kidding?
No, I'm kidding. But if they
Oh.
don't, they should. That'd be such a good product.
Yeah.
That'd be
So
$1
you've
million
never been with a
company.
woman who's had dreads, but you just surmised that they were unclean.
Yeah, they seem unclean. One time I made out
That
with a
is
woman that
what
had
we
one,
call
that
prejudice.
had the tail thing you were talking about. The
Is she-
one dread.
With a person with black hair?
She had dark brown. She was a white girl, and
They-
she had one dread.
You're sleeping with a dumpster fire. You're sleeping with someone who is gross.
And she ended things with me. And you want to know why? Oh, full circle.
Because you said her dread was disgusting.
I thought that. She had a boyfriend.
Wow.
She was cheating.
Wow.
Full circle.
Well, we solved it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we solved.
I personally have never physically cheated, but I've been caught asking a girl for nudes before while I was in a relationship.
Oh.
I was sexting a girl. So kind of shady.
Was it the girl you were living with and you were on your way out?
No, different earlier relationship. I was with this girl. I loved her. I was in love with her. And I was on the road one time, really horny, and just started sexting another woman.
And said, "Can I see some nudes?"
Yeah, I was like, "Can you send me them titties?"
You didn't say it like that.
Something I didn't say it like that, but I said, "Can you send me a picture?" And she did. I got the picture, and then that girl logged onto my Facebook page, saw my messages with that girl.
You were doing this on Facebook?
Facebook Messenger, yeah.
How? Why?
I mean, how? We were friends on Facebook. We started talking.
Was the year 2000?
It was a long time
Okay.
ago. Yeah. And she
In
sent
the
me
year
some
2000.
full body shots. And that was my night. And then I woke up the next day.
You jerked off to them?
Jerked off to them. Woke up the next day. Girlfriend at the time calls me. "Anything you want to tell me?" And I'm like, "No. Nothing I want to tell you." She's like, "I'm giving you one chance. Do you anything you want to tell me?" And I'm like, "No. There's nothing I want to tell you." She's like, "We're done. We're over." I logged onto your Facebook. I saw. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry." Begged for her back. Didn't work.
The logging onto the Facebook is wrong.
It's wrong, but in this case, it was right. She had a hunch. She was right. She had your paranoia.
God, I don't like being paranoid. It sucks.
Yeah, that story probably did not make you feel better. It probably made you feel worse because...
I'm still mad at you for saying dreads are disgusting. Black people dreads are beautiful, and you wash your hair.
Okay,
And
I'll
Chris
take
is
your word for
beautiful.
it. On Chris, it works.
Yeah, he is.
I've never seen him. I hope it works. I hope for your sake that they're good. In your comedy career, I asked this to all my guests.
Oh, sure.
What is your biggest story of, I don't want to use the word regret because everything happens for a reason and you're doing great and you're killing it and blah, 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 blah. But what was like a failure story? Whether it's maybe you botched an audition really bad, or a showcase, or you said something inappropriate to someone, or something where you're like, why did I do that?
Yeah. I've definitely, the first thing that came to mind, in New York, I was writing on crashing, and I
didn't even realize you wrote on the show.
for season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there, how many seasons were there?
3.
Oh, 3.
When you're writing on something, it does take up most of your day.
Yeah.
And at night, I would sometimes do shows, but I got asked to do this live at the apartment, which is a show they do out here, and the guy's really nice, Drew.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you're going to do my apartment show. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Ours Apartment Comedy Festival.
And this is not really necessarily a good story. It's just like I was out of practice. It was at an apartment in Brooklyn. Everyone's drinking. I didn't feel prepared. And it was supposed to be filmed, I think, for like Above Average, which is like...
I remember that. They put out those...
Yes.
Was it on a stage in this case? But they dressed it up like an apartment?
Yeah.
And they made pretty dope videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe mine wasn't that bad, but it felt like a bomb. And when I'm bombing, I'm sweating. I don't think I was very uncomfortable in what I chose to wear.
Yeah.
I think they paid me and stuff to perform, and I just was so in my head. And I just felt like I bombed, and I was like, I can't have that get out. You have to, I can't, I'll give the money back. It was just very, and I've been out of practice doing stand-up. I didn't feel prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I bombed. I was like, you got to get rid of that tape. I know that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
Was it monumental?
That seems, in my mind, I'm like, that's totally reasonable.
See, I just have a hard... I think because you do anything for comedy for so long, people actually pay to do stand-up comedy sometimes. I'll pay $5 for this mic.
Or bring your shows
when it
and they buy their
comes
friends'
to
tickets.
taking care of yourself and asking for a request or something, that can be foreign. I was talking about this with
people,
Tom Segura on his podcast, where it was he was asking me about my special and how it came to be, and I felt like I really had to sort of fight for what I wanted, meaning I wanted to build a stage lower in front of this at my venue so I could be in the crowd and they could have them around me, because I just wanted to be able to make eye contact and feel close to the people.
But if you bring that up, you're a prima donna, that type of thing.
But I was telling him the story of how Rory Scovel, when I was talking to him about it, was like, no, get what you want.
Yeah.
And I needed like my friends to encourage me to be like, no, it's your hour special. Like,
Totally.
you get what you want.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make it about a male thing, like, oh, well, women, we just don't know how to ask. But it was so natural for him and other men I've seen to be like, this is how it's going to be. I mean, I even saw like Team Coco and Conan produced by Special, and they also are doing Chris Red and Moses Storms. And I saw Moses post something about his set for his special, and I was like, it's like a fucking Broadway show. And I'm over here being like, can I get my stage lower? And had to like fight for it. And so it's just like, sometimes I see stuff like that. I'm like, what the hell? I should have asked for,
Right.
I don't mean I should have asked for more, but it just was like, come on. Like, but it is, I will say,
I don't think that's even...
It is hard to transition in your head, like, oh, I'm in control.
Right.
Because you're used to going, yeah, I'll do that. Yes, I'll be there. Yes, anything.
Totally. Sure, I'll drive 3 hours for a show for $50 where I'll spend $100 in gas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in a hotel. Yeah, of course.
Oh, and then so even when it's like, hey, this is your special and we're paying you this amount and it's going to be on HBO Max, it's hard to be like, oh, so I call the shot? Like, because no one's like, you're in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
Right.
No one's like...
You still have that feeling, I don't want to fuck it up.
Yeah.
I want to be easy to work with. I want them to keep working with me.
Yeah.
Of course.
All those things.
Yeah, that's completely normal, but I'm proud of you for saying you wanted a smaller stage.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But also like with power...
And I hate high stages.
Me too.
I hate them.
I can't...
A big pet peeve. I'll still do them, but I hate them.
I know, but I will actually crouch down, which sounds so weird. But like, have you ever done the Bell House in New York?
Mm-mm.
It's just very high. And so I will sometimes... I don't sit at the edge of it, but I will crouch down and like look at people.
For music, it's cool.
Yeah.
For music, you're up there and they're looking up at you and you've got the guitar and you look like a badass. But for comedy, it's less intimate and there's a disconnect. And
if it's like, if I'm able, I'll step down.
Yeah. No, I get that. I support that decision. There was something. Oh, I was going to say, here's what I would have done with the apartment show in New York.
Yeah.
I would have been like, listen, guys, this show is awesome. Is there any way I could do it again? Can you scrap this tape? Can I retake?
I may have offered or something, but I don't know. I have such an interesting relationship with stand-up. I do treat it pretty precious. So like I want it to be very good.
It should be. Yeah. It's out there because what if someone's... I actually have a very similar story. Have you heard of Comedy Time?
Yes.
Yeah,
isn't there like a little thing on the left side behind people right here?
Yeah, that says Comedy Time.
Yeah, I've seen those.
They did at a few different venues, but in LA they're doing it at the Ice House in Pasadena. And I am 6 months into comedy.
Wow.
Young and hungry. I'm hosting their open mic. And I had 5 dirty minutes of comedy.
Yeah.
Whatever. I wasn't good. In my head, I thought I was good, but I wasn't good.
Yeah.
And there was a falling out on Comedy Time. So the booker of the club came up to me, and because I was the host, so I was the only one he knew, kind of. And he goes, hey, do you have 8 minutes clean? I'm like, yeah, of course. And he goes, hey, someone just dropped out. You want to do Comedy Time in 10 minutes? And I'm like, yeah, of course I do. Yeah, let's do it.
And you weren't nervous?
So he walked away. Now I'm freaking out. At the time, I skateboarded that day, so I was wearing the shirt that had holes in it. I had this prepubescent mustache. I didn't have 8 minutes clean. He made me turn the shirt inside out. So on this, I'm acting like it's a comedy special. It's not. It's a YouTube channel, but it gets a lot of views.
It does, yeah.
And
I used to watch those before I was stand-up just to be like, is this stand-up comedy?
Yeah, it's not like...
Some of them are good.
In retrospect, it didn't matter at all. But at the time, it was the biggest thing I had ever done. And Tom Segura had been on it. And Fahim had been on. All these comedians I admire have done it. So I'm like, holy shit, I'm doing Comedy Time. It paid $35 too, or something like that, $50. So I'm up there. I somehow pull it together and do 8 minutes. And I had a really good set at the time. But then a year goes by and I look back at it and I cringe.
Yeah.
It's just terrible comedy. It's just bad. So I hit up the guy.
What was one of the things that you said you were just like, Jesus Christ?
Here's how new I was to comedy. You know how everyone has their closing joke, a closer joke? I didn't have a closer at this time. Like someone's like, what's your closer? I'm like, whatever I feel like closing on that day.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know what a closer was.
Yeah, like end strong.
Yeah, you're supposed to save your best joke for last. I did not even know what my best joke was. So I couldn't tell you what my jokes were, but they were immature humor about titties probably or something like that. And I emailed the company and I said, hey, thank you so much for letting me do Comedy Time. This is a year or two later. I really hate this video of me. It comes up when you search my name. It doesn't resonate with me at all. I know you guys paid me $50. Can I send you back the $50? Can you take off the video? And the guy was a complete dick and was like, nope, you signed the contract. It's staying up. It's my channel. That was the end of it. So now if you search Ari Mannis Comedy Time,
Wow.
it is a terrible representation of me, but whatever.
I mean, I kind of want to look. I'm pretty lazy. And if you don't want, you know what I mean?
Oh, I don't care, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So your story reminded me.
But I mean,
of
I
that.
look at Comedy Central clips from my half hour that make me cringe.
Yeah.
Some of the material I think is
happen always.
fine in there. But my delivery.
How has your delivery changed since then?
I like sort of hate. Yeah. I don't know how to describe it. My friend Meredith did a better job one time. Overacty sort of stuff when I'm watching it. Other
So it
people.
comes across as unnatural.
No, I'm sorry. That was just me stating what I hate.
Oh,
I was looking
others.
for the word.
Yeah.
But what I hate about mine, the cringe factor, is that it is like very slow and sometimes like, you know, like let me make a meal of something that should be snappier.
Interesting.
And I think some sweet guys did a podcast recently. They tagged me this morning. So I listened to the chunk or whatever. They're like, on this episode, we talk about Beth Stelling's Girl Daddy. Like the other comic chose my special to discuss. And, you know, I thought if they're tagging me, I'll probably nice things. And one of the things that they were saying was like, they would be interested to see my word count because my jokes per minute is so insane. And I was like, and my first thought
That's
was
a
like,
compliment, right? They're saying
yeah.
you do a lot of jokes per minute. Okay.
yeah. But in my first thought was like, yeah, I shouldn't have crammed so much in there. Like that special in the past would be like maybe 2 specials.
Right. To me, that sounds, when you talk about it, it sounds like a great thing.
Yeah, no, I
Pleasure.
agree with you. I wasn't offended at all. I was flattered. But it's just you're asking what the change is.
Yeah.
The change is I crammed
Your pacing.
so much in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did you do that? Because I clip. It's like, ba-dum. Like, I do have a lot of
Did
laugh
you
lines.
still let the laughs breathe, or did?
I mean,
when
if I'm critiquing myself, I sometimes wonder that. Where I was like, oh, I wonder if I let that breathe more. But then it would be slower.
I sometimes wonder that about myself. Do I pause for laughter more, or do, because sometimes in the middle of laugh, I'll just start into the next night.
But I've seen something Molasses on Netflix, and I was like, it ain't that good, bro. Fucking pick it up, bitch. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
And there's something cool about it too, where you're like, I don't need your laughs. On to the next one.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah, you
cool
don't.
about that too.
There's a big difference between nervous speed and keep up.
Yeah, that's cool. Anything else you want to share with the world?
I don't think so.
Do you have anything to plug? Do you have a podcast?
No.
Do you have a social media account?
At Beth Stelling. I do have a podcast where we have 26 episodes with my mom. It's called We Called Your Mom. And it's my mom, Diane, and I calling my friends' moms and talking about what it was like to raise an artist. It's fun.
So you and your mom call a friend of yours mom. So she doesn't know the mom that you guys call. And neither do
Right.
you. You just call a strange mom.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
But you stopped doing it.
Well, Earwolf dropped it
Oh,
because
okay.
we weren't making, like they were paying us, but
Wasn't
we
enough.
weren't making them
Yeah.
ad money.
Right.
So, which seems so silly to like have your podcast be canceled because podcasts can be free. You know what I mean? Like, so my mom and I
Well,
could do it again.
Yeah, you could do it again.
and
but
we
the company.
might, but we did, you know, we enjoyed the benefits of their producer and editor. We've had a couple people approach us and just be like, hey, we'd be happy to do it with you. They're not offering money or something, but
Right.
we never did it for that anyway.
Sure.
So, and it's interesting too, as like maybe more people find my special. I've noticed more people following the account because it's in my bio. So like we don't have a ton of followers for our podcast.
But you got
It's-
something.
It's something like 1,300. My mom
could
is
grow.
my
That's
mom is
great.
always like, is that not a lot? And I'm just like, it's fine. Who cares, mom? You know, but I am proud of what we did. And it is like a beautiful time capsule for my friends.
And
Like,
you and your mom.
yes, 100% right. Like there is one, our final one is just her and I. We did one with her mom, Trudy, my grandma, who's 102 now. And that's a beautiful little time capsule. And we talked to Maria Bamford's mom, Marilyn, who's since passed. And it's like a beautiful thing to have her speak forever
Yeah.
about Maria.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. And I don't know about, I can't speak for others, but Like my mom's fucking nuts. So it'd be interesting to hear more people who has crazy moms.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. We talked to Sam Richardson's mom, Lydia. I don't know if you know Sam. He's been in a bunch of movies.
I know who he is. Yeah.
His mom, Lydia, because he grew up part-time, mostly in Detroit, but also Ghana, sometime in Ghana, because his mom is from Ghana. And yeah, that was just a pleasant discussion. She's lovely. Jonathan Van Ness's mom had one of the funniest stories. It's great.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, maybe season 2. Bring it up.
Yeah.
Bring it back for season 2.
Yeah, we'll do more, I think, for sure.
Did you do it video too or just audio?
Just audio. They did a couple like sweet cartoons of our voices, which I love
that's nice.
watching. They're really sweet. So yeah,
because that'd be an
good
easy one to do
memories.
over Zoom, and then record the mom over Zoom and have a little video.
Also, I think some of the moms don't love that. They like to kind of
got it.
call in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not all, but them. Yeah, Mo Welch and I might start a pod together, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm a little lazy.
Sneak preview.
I'm a little lazy.
Mo Welch.
Me and
Beth
Mo.
Stelling pod coming
Maybe.
soon.
Yeah.
Putting it out there. Okay, well, thank you for coming on my podcast and taking the time to do it, because I know you're a busy young lady.
Thank you
God
for having
bless.
me. God
Anytime.
bless.
Bye.
Peace be with you.
You're listening to
Unlicensed Therapy with Ari Mannis.
Unlicensed Therapy with Ari Mannis.